Hey everybody, it's Mark T, and as you can clearly see, I am wearing my Finn Adventure Time hat. This wasn't a, this wasn't a, how do I put it? This wasn't a bought hat. One of my friend's mothers made it for me, which was really nice of her. Um, in short, though, the reason I'm wearing it is because I have decided to make a new show for my channel, which is, I'm gonna call, like, sort of on opposites with Anime Friday. I started thinking about how much I really liked cartoons, so I decided to make one second. I decided to make Cartoon Tuesday, which will also be on every other week. Like Anime Friday. So basically, one week Anime Friday, the other week Cartoon Tuesday. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to do. I know it seems strange, just to why not put them on the same week, but it doesn't matter. At least one video of mine will be going up each week, since you know. Anyways, I have a long history with this series. Yeah, this is the only this is the only season. I only have season 1 on DVD, but I have actually watched. I am completely caught up with the entire Adventure Time series, and overall, this series has become my favorite cartoon ever. And I grew up in the 90s where they had like series like Reboot, Ninja Turtles, and Freakazoid, and all these other great series. And I will be talking about all those other series on this show as well. But to be honest, I was thinking, what was the greatest show? What's my favorite cartoon show that currently exists? And honestly, Adventure Time was the one. I have a lot of I have a lot of Adventure Time memorabilia down here that I'll show you, but let me just start talking. So, my experience with Adventure Time was not the same as everyone else. I'm assuming everyone else's experience with Adventure Time is like watching it on Cartoon Network or on TV or something. But for me, I found it one day randomly. I had heard of the show before from my friend and other things that I had heard from, but I wasn't really very knowledgeable of it. So then I did a search and I downloaded the first episode, which for me I don't count episodes as like the single 15 minutes. I count like two of those 15-minute episodes as like one episode. Um, anyways, I ended up downloading the first episode. I sat through it, and I I was completely blown away. Just just because it was a really strange, way of going about things. The animation was really, really amazing. Like nothing to write home about, but it was really unique designed animation, and it's set in such a strange time, where it's essentially it's just like after an apocalypse has happened, and it was just a really unique series. After that point, though, I sort of dropped that off. Like I didn't not like the show. I really did like the show. It's just I didn't have the time or the place to download the episodes from or to even watch them from. So it sort of fell off my radar temporarily. Then, as I found out that the series was basically getting more and more popular, I decided to sit through thing. So I ended up downloading the first 2 seasons onto my iPad, watching all of them, and then starting on season 3. And by the time I was watching season 2, or started watching season 3, it was already like a hugely popular series. And I would just watch and rewatch episodes. I wasn't really on the new episodes yet because, like I said, I had no real major place to watch it from. So, yet again, it fell off my radar. And then we reached this point in which I was essentially caught up, but I was still interested in the series, so I took the time. I found this site called Watch Cartoons Online. You should check that out. I'm going to leave an annotation in the description so you can go check it out, because it's a really fantastic site for watching cartoons. You know, it doesn't have every cartoon in the world, but it has a lot of the long-running current cartoons on it that you can watch consistently. So I'll leave a link of that. I'll leave a link for that down below. So anyways, after that point, I was completely in, like completely caught up. And since then, I've been currently watching. It's currently on season 6 or 7 right now. I believe it's season 7. And honestly, the series has not disappointed me. I know, like, most animated series generally tend to, you know, falter after a certain point, but Adventure Time is one of those few cartoon series that is consistently good, and I think part of that is due to how short the running time is. Because while originally they were showing 20, basically like half-hour blocks with 2 15-minute episodes in each, now they're currently just showing 15-minute episodes, and then, you know, and then it's done. Which I think is actually really good, because the thing is, both for kids and adults, sometimes it's very hard to pay attention to something for a really long time, at least for me personally, which means that the 15-minute episodes are really, really good to have. You know, you don't have to sit through like 40 minutes or 20 minutes. It's just a solid 15 minutes, and, you know, you get to enjoy it. That's basically it. So my experience with the show was mostly gone through that. And then gradually, as the show got more and more popular, it started releasing DVDs and, even better, comic books. I currently have volumes 1 through 4. Sorry if you can't see that very well. Of the Adventure Time comic. I know that there are probably more. I haven't checked out Chapters or any bookstores recently. But honestly, these comics are really fantastic too. They're great adaptations. But they don't so much follow the overall story of the show. You know, they're like two separate, consistent entities. But the comics are pretty much just as good as the show. You know, except they have storylines that don't always cross over, even though you might want to. Like, they introduce some new characters, or some aspects of thing that, like in volume 4 of the trades, it even starts getting into this point where, like, it talks about the history of you know, like, of a lot of things. In volume 3, it shows this really cool point where basically the Lich, Marceline's father, and the Ice King all made like these secret dungeons, and Finn and Jake go through them, and it's all overall really enjoyable. There's just something really likable. And then eventually they released this encyclopedia written by Hudson Abadir, who is Marceline's father, if you didn't know. It's picture. Wait, that's pictures right there. And just it's really amazing to see how popular this series has gotten. Now, what I do find surprising is that when I was watching like a clip of Adventure Time on YouTube like last year, I saw that people were apparently not too happy with the way that the show has been going. You know, like they weren't happy with things. They keep saying, "Oh, the earlier episodes were better," which I'll admit, I do complain about that as well, at least in terms of The Simpsons, or Family Guy, or Futurama, or so on and so forth. But to be honest, Adventure Time for me personally has not been like that. You know, and the reason I think that, you know, like that they're wrong, you know, I mean, I believe everyone deserves to have their own opinion, but to be perfectly honest, the reason I think this show has been good for so long is because instead of sticking with the same old thing, you know, the same old process, like constantly rehashing the same stories and not aging or not pushing our characters forward, that's non-existent. This show pushes our characters forward. Finn ages, not clearly seen, but we see that Finn's growing. We see that he even has a birthday episode, which makes him like 14. I think he's about 16 right now. 16 or 15, I'm not sure. But essentially, it pushes the characters forward. They develop, they grow, they change. That's a good thing. Just like in movies or anime series, you want your characters to grow, which is what makes Adventure Time so unique, because for most people, cartoons are just like, it's a kid, it's a show for kids. No one's gonna care if we keep rehashing the story over and over again. No, but the runner of this cartoon show does. He pushes our characters to grow, to develop, and to just overall have better experiences, and that is what I believe makes a good show. So if you disagree with my opinion, please leave a comment below. But aside from that, this is honestly one of the best series ever. And if you want an Adventure Time series that's not gonna keep changing, at least from what I've seen, read the comics. You know, it doesn't so much focus on character development. It's just stories of Finn and Jake and their other friends doing some crazy and wild stuff. Overall, what I'm trying to say is Adventure Time is one of the best series ever done. You know, it's honestly one of my all-time favorite. Well, it's my all-time favorite cartoon show in general, and it's a series that has yet to disappoint me with its stories, and I hope it's around for a really long time. Aside from that, though, there's really not that much to say. Also, just one thing to state. Penn Ward, the guy that does this series, he has his own YouTube channel that he runs, which is called Cartoon Hangover, and he has a show that's also really good called Bravest Warriors. You know, it has sort of the same feel of Adventure Time, except more based towards teenagers, at least from my point of view. So if you want to see, you know, a different series that you could enjoy, it's just go and check that out. So yeah. Anyways, this has been the first Cartoon Tuesday. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next Friday. Goodbye.